The U.S. House of Representatives has passed President Donald Trump's flagship tax reform bill. The proposal could become Trump's first major victory following a raft of previous headline-grabbing failures. The House voted along party lines to approve a $1.5 trillion Republican tax bill that would overhaul business and personal taxes. Republicans have called for changes to the code for years, of course, but didn't have the support from the White House until Trump's election victory. Maria Ramos is here with the details.
Well, as after 4 days of debate, House Republicans have finally passed a controversial overhaul of the U.S. tax code to reduce corporate rates. Lawmakers plan to enact $1.5 trillion in tax cuts for businesses and individuals. So what's the plan exactly? Well, the Republicans' proposal would slash corporate rates from 35% to 20%. It would also change how overseas profits and payments from subsidiaries are taxed. And it eliminates a range of benefits for families and individuals. Take a listen.
This is about giving hardworking taxpayers bigger paychecks, more take-home pay. This is about giving those families who are struggling peace of mind. It's about getting this economy to grow faster so we get bigger wages, more jobs, and we put America in the driver's seat in the global economy once again.
But a lot of people are not happy with the Republicans' new tax reform plan. Critics say the bill would actually raise taxes on low-income Americans within a few years. Democrats say it's a giveaway to the wealthiest Americans. One Democrat went as far as calling it a tax scam. And another controversial point is that it benefits pass-through companies. Now, these are businesses such as sole proprietors or partnerships where the company's income actually passes through to individual owners. There are around 25 million in the US, and they're not necessarily all small businesses. The Dallas Cowboys is a perfect example. The bill will now go to the US Senate after Thanksgiving, but the question is, will it get the support to pass the chamber? One senator has already announced opposition to the plan, which earned him a phone call from President Trump. And let's not forget that Congress has not passed a comprehensive tax reform since Ronald Reagan was president. So let's see what happens as up.
Maria Ramos, thank you so much. Now, TRT World's editor-at-large, Craig Peters, joins me from Paris for more on this. Craig, what is right with this bill first?
Americans are going to have more money in their pocket.
But is that all Americans?
No, what's wrong with this bill is that the only Americans who will have more money in their pocket are those who make more than $1 million a year. Anyone with an income under $75,000 is going to get hit hard. Maybe you're going to make a few bucks if you're making over 75 grand. But this bill is just fraught with disease and the kind of theological arguments you find when you start discussing how many angels dance on the head of the pin. Look, you have to. The devil is in the details. One deal here this bill allows corporations to keep the deductions on expenditures that they have for moving their companies overseas. You get a deduction, but this bill also dumps student loan deductions. So if you're a college student or a graduate student and you're struggling through school, guess what? You can't deduct your student loan anymore.
So this
bill is pockmarked with this kind of nonsense.
Right. So the key to the key to this argument, of course, is how the Republicans are planning on paying for it. I mean, they've been saying for quite some time that these tax reductions are going to generate a whole load of economic growth and boost the tax receipts of the government. What's the flaw in that particular argument?
Right. Well, you ask any 10 tax policy experts to explain this law, you'll get 300 explanations. Let me try to do it. Join the cacophony. There's this myth that lower taxes will lead CEOs to raise capital expenditures and salaries. No, that's not true. Every survey shows that. If you have investment income, you make money. If you have money in the bank, but if you work for a living, you're going to end up paying more. The theory they operate on is that raising someone's income automatically raises tax receipts. But that theory is predicated on the theory that the corporations are going to raise your income. So a lot of what Trump's doing here is predicated on the notion that these hundreds of billions, if not trillions of dollars of U.S. money that's parked overseas is going to come home being taxed at 10%, is somehow going to re-energize the economy. But the fact of the matter is that 52% of Americans polled in the latest Quinnipiac poll say that they really disapprove of this because they know they're going to get slammed. So it's exceptionally complex. But the bottom line, if there is one here, if you're making under $75,000 a year, you're going to be paying more. You're only going to see any benefit from this if you're a saver with a lot of money in the bank, or you're making more than $1 million a year. And guess what? 5 or 6 years from now, everyone's going to be paying more taxes to make up the deficit. And the kicker on this, there's a law in the United States, and wait for this one, that tax cut-induced deficits by law trigger cuts in Medicare, which is the National Health Service of the United States.
Craig Capitas in Paris, thank you so much